Well, good morning and welcome to my YouTube channel. So this morning I've come up to Glencoe because last week I had a mega failure with all my equipment. So I've bought enduro batteries for the GoPro. I bought hand warmers to see if I can get the Rode transmitter and keep that warm so it doesn't fail on me. It's -7, so I couldn't have picked the most extreme temperatures to test this out. And I need to test the equipment. I need to know what works because I'm going on a trip to the Isle of Skye and it's going to be extremely cold as well. But I don't want to worry about equipment failures. So join me this morning and let's see where this journey takes us. Okay, so I've come down to the side of the loch. You can see the moon up here. There's getting some blue sky. The sun's coming up behind me. But look at this composition. I've got these beautiful trees, frost laden. I've got the snow in the loch. I've got some islands. I've got the frost on the ground. I've got the icy loch. So what I'll do is I'll get set up and I'll take a few shots here just before the sun rises. And wow, what a magical location this morning. Alright, so a few learnings already this morning. As I was walking along, I was talking to camera, and when I came down to this location, when I saw it, I pressed play and there was no sound. So I'm thinking, oh dear, my idea of the sock and the hand warmer hasn't worked. The problem was the jack wasn't in the receiver properly. Then I've taken a few shots, I did a bit of filming, and then I noticed there's a bit of hair in the sky when I look back at the footage, and the sock that I've put on the receiver was too close to the top of the camera. So the little extension bar that my son Sam 3D printed for me, I've now put that on the camera so I don't obstruct the lens. So thank goodness I'm here early enough. And all this learning, it's fantastic as we go along because I need to get all this sorted before I go away to Skye. But the composition I've got here is absolutely stunning. I've got the white snow on the frozen loch. I've got this cluster of trees that have got all the frost on it. I've increased my shutter speed to 1.6 seconds. I'm shooting at f8 and I've got ISO 100. So I'm going to take 2 or 3 landscape shots. I might do a wee pano shot, and what I'll do is I'll turn the camera over to vertical and I'll take some portrait shots using the rocks as a leading line towards that small cluster of trees. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down really low because my foot went through the ice here. So the good thing is I've got my wellies on, and I'll take shots from a lower level. I'm still using the same settings because I don't need any filters because of the mist. And when I've finished, I'll share those images with you now. Alright, so I'm just going to head up to a wee bit of a higher elevation because I think this would be a cracking scene from a higher spot, which it would be, but not that high. So if I come down to here, and then if I can set up my tripod, let's see if we can get a nice level. Oh wow, wow, this is absolutely stunning this morning. I did not expect this mist. I was hoping there'd be snow and a heavy frost, but this is just amazing. Right, I'm going to do a close-up shot of this cluster of trees from the higher elevation, and then, oh, I'm a wee bit out of puff. That's because I dived up that wee hill. Let me see what else I can get here. I'm going to see if I can get a panoramic view across to the island, but try and get in those trees. Now, well, I put the island in the horizon. There's not much of a horizon because of the mist. So what I've got is there's an island in front of me, there's the trees on the right, and I'm just going to take a couple of shots and just move the composition and the position of the island from a top 2/3 to a bottom 2/3, and then what I'll do is I'll centre it in the middle on my horizon, and then I'll just see what works nice. And what I'll do then is, because I've taken these images this way, and you always hear me talking about composition, if I show you the top third level image where I've positioned the island, I'll show you a horizontal horizon in the middle of the image, and then I'll show you a bottom third. And you can, if you don't mind, you could put a comment in the comments and let me know what image you prefer, and then compositionally what works best for you, because again, it's all down to personal choice. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I'm just turning the camera to the right a bit, and then I'm going to isolate that lone tree that's on the right of that cluster of trees and shoot down, because we've got some water that's not frozen yet, and that could make quite a nice image. I'll tell you what, this is certainly giving us a Christmas feeling this morning, and I'm so glad I took the time to come here. Right, that's me finished, and I'll share these images with you now. Okay, so I've walked a wee bit further around the edge of the loch, and I'll just show you the composition that I've seen. So I've seen these two islands, and there's an island in the middle, and I don't know if you'll make it out, there's a cluster of rocks there that's just breaking the separation between the islands. So what I might do is go a little bit higher so that I can break the separation, and then we've got a gap between that island and that island, but we've then got the three islands in the composition. So I'll step back and I'll take that image and I'll share that image with you. Okay, so I've came back down. I took a panoramic image up there while I was taking the single image. So if that panoramic image worked, I'll share that with you now. Okay, so now I've come back down. I'm not really that concerned about the separation in the island, because my focus is this little island straight in front of me. I've set my camera up low, and what I'm doing is I've set the composition as a vertical so that I can get that rock in the foreground, and the island in the background, and I'm hoping that'll make a nice image. What I'll also do is I'll try and get a couple of other compositions from a landscape perspective and see if we can go a little bit wider left, a little bit wider right, and when we're finished I'll share those images with you then. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to venture round that side of the loch and see if we can see anything that we can get composition wise that direction across the loch, and I'll catch back up with you when we get over there. Right, so I've came across the other side of the loch and I've got, there's actually some foot trails there, so I actually don't know if it's rabbit or what it might be, but there's definitely been a small animal. There's some skids that's making me think it could be rabbit, but hey, here it could be anything, to be honest. So what caught my eye was, I know I keep talking about composition, separation and competitions, but in this little outlet here there's a couple of sprigs of trees that are up and they're pure white with the frost. And they look really, really nice with the darker background of that island. But I also like the composition where I've got the 3 trees on the island. I've got that outlet sweeping in. And then what I've also got, the island in the background that's all diffused with a mist. Because the other good thing about this morning is I'm using f8 and I'm compensating with shutter speed. Because it's quite bright. As it's getting brighter, I'm just speeding up my shutter speed as I go along. But I don't need to use a lower f-stop because I don't want to blow out any backgrounds, I want detail. But the mist is diffusing the background, so I'm getting no detail in the background anyway because I'm using f8, which is great. So what I'll do is, I'll take a few different compositions here. I'm just checking I can see the outline of the Black Ridge Mountains over on my right, so the mist's starting to clear. And I'll keep taking shots and I'll share these images with you now. Alright, so I'm just navigating my way across the other side. I'm just careful where I'm walking because there's some pretty high spots, as you can see. Stepping on, and the mic's just fell off the camera. Hopefully it's still recorded. So I'm just coming up to the edge of the island I was shooting, and this looks really nice. So I can use these rocks at the bottom here as foreground and get a shot of these trees and then get a shot of that island. So I'll get set up and I'll catch back with you soon. So that's me set up. I've got an amazing view. I mean, the mist is just so magical, but I'll just show you the wee island that we were taking shots of earlier because we're closer to it. We're getting a nice yellow edge as part of the sunrise, and you can just see the outline of the mountains in the background. That little tree could be quite a nice composition on its own if I move further that way and see if I can isolate it. I'll just turn around so you can see where we started. So we started way over there and we've just worked our way around the loch, and it's breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking this morning. Right, so what's my plan? My plan is I'm going to do a close-up shot of these 2 trees. There's actually a rock in the background that I've just been making sure that rock is in the middle of that tree, those 2 trees here. And then that way I've got the rock in the middle. Well, hopefully it works. I'll do some wide shots, I'll do some close-ups, I'll do some verticals, then I'll share those images with you now. Okay, so I've came down to the water's edge, or I should say the ice edge, and what I'm trying to do is just get a kind of lower shot of the trees on this island, lift them up and make best use of the rocks at the foot of the island here. And if I just move away to the left, I could have a really nice shot of that little tree sticking out where I've got nothing, well, hopefully I've got a lot of white behind it and it stands out. But I'm going to take a few more shots here at this lower level, and then when I'm finished, I'll share those images with you now. So I've come down further around the edge of the loch. If I turn the camera around, look at the sky. It's absolutely stunning. We're way past sunrise now, but the colours, those yellows and pinks that we're getting are absolutely stunning. So I've taken some close-ups of this little island. I tried to get a composition like this, where I had the tree on the far right. I tried to get the Black Mountain Ridge in the background, well, just a silhouette. Try and capture the colour of the sky, so hopefully that's worked out. I've then taken a shot of this island, but a close up. So yeah, if these images work out, I'll share them with you. Alright, so I've managed to get a composition with these three rocks, and I'm higher up because I need to get the rocks surrounded by white of the snow, so I've got a wee bit of separation between that and the black ice above it, and then that means from a layer point of view I've got dark ice, I've got white snow, I've got the rocks, I've got dark ice, and then I've got the island, and then I've got the pinkiness and the orange in the sky, and it's absolutely stunning. And I'm just looking over to my right hand side, and there's a lick of light shooting onto the Black Mountain range. So let me see if I can capture this. And what I'll do is, that lick of light is just going right across the centre of the mountains, and it's just getting lifted, and you can just see a peak of snow in the background there on the tops. Right, so what I'll do is I'll get cracking, I'll take these images, and let's hope that these come out, because this could be pretty special actually. So what I'll do is I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to take these shots, and when these are finished I'll share these images with you now. Alright, so I've walked further round to the edge of the loch, and I'm just about to show you why. Look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. So I've just been spending time taking a lot of photos here because the battery ran out. The battery ran out because of power, not because of the cold. I have to admit, these Enduro batteries are amazing. So if anybody's having real problems with GoPros in the cold, buy the Enduro batteries. I'll put a link up to the ones that I purchased, and I can truly say they've been an absolute godsend. I just need to figure out how to fit this sock properly onto the wee receiver to protect it. But just look at the view I've got now. It's absolutely majestical, absolutely glorious. Right, I'm going to stop rambling, and I'm going to share with you the images that I've taken of this scene just now. Alright, so I've came to the other side. I'm just working my way further round. But I spotted a tree in the loch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this tree. That's the tree right there in the centre of the image. And what I'll try and do is see if I can get some separation. The scenery behind it is absolutely stunning with the mist and the clouds. The colours are amazing. The mist has left this area, so the detail is incredible. So it's a kind of race against time before the sun comes up before that, behind that hill, and it's just going to clear it all. So what I'll do is I'll take these shots, and when they're finished I'll share them with you now. Alright, so I've come to another area around the loch and I spotted this. That was a tree we were shooting earlier, but what I'm wanting was I'm waiting on the sun coming up to light this thing up, and I am not disappointed. This is absolutely glorious. Oh, it's absolutely incredible. I've got a vertical composition at the moment because what I'm trying to do is use the spots of snow and ice in front of me as a leading line, but I'm just going to turn the camera over to landscape, and I'm going to put the thing that you're not meant to do is put the tree in the centre of the image, but I am, because I can then use that as a square crop if I want to. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can. The sun, oh, absolutely beautiful. Oh, I was so lucky this morning, and this was just a test to check the endurance of the equipment. And it's just, oh, mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. I'm just quickly, so I don't think I'm going to lose the sun because there's no clouds, but because the sun's so low, I'm just maximising every opportunity I can get with all the different compositions that are in front of me whilst the sun is at that low level, because as soon as the sun goes high, it's just going to light up everything and there'll be no shadows. Oh wow, this is absolutely amazing. So probably within the next half hour, the sun's going to be too high and it's just not going to be picturesque enough. But what I'll do is, I'll keep taking these images and then I'll share these images with you now. Alright, so I've came up to a higher elevation, and what I'm trying to do is just get a kind of wider vista of the scene in front of us. Because the sun's now up, it's actually brightening everything up, especially everything in my foreground. It's not quite touched the mountains yet because there's still a lot of clouds, but I'm getting some nice compositions because I'm getting a lot of shadows, and that's helping with the contrast against the white. But I know I'm going to get beat by the sun because it's going to end up getting too bright and it's just going to burn everything out, and then I'll have too many highlights. But what I'll do is I'll take a number of compositions here, and when I'm finished, I'll share those images with you. Alright, so I've had an amazing morning. The weather has been way more than I thought it was going to be. It's -7, it's absolutely freezing. However, the mist this morning was just a magical experience. It really was. The enduro batteries on the GoPro, first class, actually work. The kind of hand heater that I put on the receiver kind of works, but it's a bit of a faff with that sock on top of it. So I'm going to have to cut the sock and modify it a bit so I can keep packing in the heaters. I think I'm just going to buy a new mic set, but probably not Rode, and see if I can use that as well, because I can't depend on having hand warmers stuck in a sock just to keep a receiver alive. It's just not practical. So here's hoping these images have worked out, and if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that'll let you know the next time I post a video. So thanks very much for watching, and here's to the next video.